Should Outbreak return in Black Ops 6 Zombies? That's what we're going to be discussing in this video, because going into Black Ops 6, Treyarch have made it extremely clear from the get-go that Black Ops 6 Zombies is heavily focusing on round-based zombies. Their wording is that round-based is back, and we have 2 zombies maps on launch, which is music to our ears, and a focus again on round-based is extremely exciting, but as of now, that's all the focus. There's been no mentions of any other zombies modes. Looking back at Treyarch's last Black Ops game, they were juggling both round-based zombies and an open-world Outbreak mode. And naturally, you would think it would be coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies, but in this video, I'm going to be discussing all the potentials for how it could be coming in Black Ops 6, whilst also it might not be coming to Black Ops 6. And ultimately, I want to pose you, the viewer, your opinion in the comments below on if you want to see Outbreak in Black Ops 6 or not, and what your opinions are on Outbreak. I think this is a super relevant topic, looking at this is what Treyarch has focused solely on for the last few years. We saw the first iteration of Outbreak as an open world zombies mode in Treyarch's Black Ops Cold War, and then at the end of that same year, we got a hybrid version of it in Vanguard Zombies, and we're now in present day where we have another iteration of Outbreak in Modern Warfare 3. And it's very evident looking at Treyarch's track record that they are no stranger to experimenting and figuring out what works and adapting that in their future titles. We can literally look at Black Ops Cold War as the very beginning of their experimentation, as that's where we saw the first iteration of Outbreak, and according to Treyarch's stats, it was actually a very popular mode that actually rivaled the player numbers for round-based zombies. It was a lot more popular than I think we realized. So obviously they wanted to follow on from that success, and they just did not have the time to create the next version as soon as they wanted to. And then we got Vanguard Zombies, which, as much as it was an epic fail in some aspects, it was also Treyarch's way of basically just experimenting with another version of an objective style zombies game mode, where rather than it be a open world, it's more of a contained one that's sort of similar to round based in the constraints of a map being smaller and turning those objectives into rounds. Objectively, it was a terrible mode, but it was definitely a learning curve for Treyarch and an experiment as well with a different style of gameplay. And then that's morphed into what we've seen recently with Modern Warfare 3, which I would argue has less Outbreak elements than what we saw in Cold War and has more of the elements of DMZ's extraction shooter elements. And I think we can all fairly say that Modern Warfare Zombies is without question the best alternative zombies mode to round base that Treyarch has ever created, and is a perfect blueprint on where Outbreak can go in the future. Because I think even Treyarch and Activision themselves were very surprised at how popular Modern Warfare Zombies was at launch, and in my opinion, the launch offering for that mode was incredible. By all means, at the core, the mode didn't feel like traditional Treyarch Call of Duty Zombies, but it did feel fresh, it felt different, and with the addition of the act missions, it actually gave you something to do within that big sandbox of an open world that they had. And in contrast to Cold War's Outbreak, it actually felt like a really complete mode. There was way more things to do in a general match than Outbreak, and in my opinion, it just seems like it was such a lot of work behind the scenes for Treyarch that they're not simply gonna just drop that mode and not return with a Black Ops version of that mode. Now, considering the time frame in which Treyarch had to develop this mode, they essentially only had about a year to work on this, whilst they were also developing Black Ops 6 Zombies, so they were sort of jumping to and from these projects. And considering Treyarch have had 4 years to develop Black Ops 6 Zombies, that also includes the time frame of developing Modern Warfare Zombies, but I don't think it is out of the question at all to speculate that the framework of the mode that became Modern Warfare Zombies might have originally been part of Black Ops 6, and now that they have that under their belt, they can easily migrate all of the framework of that mode into a Black Ops version and have it within Black Ops 6. I think it could be very easily done, and when you think about it, it's mainly the systems itself that probably took Treyarch the most time to develop. The map itself already existed because Raven Software had created it. All Treyarch had to do was slightly change up the lighting and some of the color palette. But if we did get Outbreak in Black Ops 6, it could again just be on the Warzone map for Black Ops 6, and I don't think people would have any issue with it. And again, if it follows the exact same structure that we had in Modern Warfare Zombies, where it had that element of the act missions, the story missions, big boss fights within this open world, I think it would have a lot of success within Black Ops 6, and I think a lot of players would enjoy it because, like I mentioned, I really think that Activision and Treyarch were not expecting the reception of Modern Warfare Zombies to be so positive and for it to have the player numbers that it did. But do I personally think Black Ops 6 is going to have Outbreak? I'm going to go and say no. And purely that's based on what we've been given so far, where the marketing has been so heavy, emphasizing round-based returning. We're having multiple round-based maps on launch, which is already a lot more than what we got for Cold War, but that was due to the fact that it was created during the pandemic. But it sounds like we're getting back to that OG Zombies rollout and cadence, and I feel like it's in Activision and Treyarch's interest to steer the Call of Duty Zombies brand to solely have that round-based identity, to not confuse any new players as well as old players, because over the years, people picking up the Call of Duty games, knowing what a Zombies mode is, and then not getting a round-based game must be pretty polarizing. So I think it's in their interest to keep it to round-based only, and it might stick that way for the whole year of Black Ops 6. However, we have no idea what the year 2 of Black Ops 6 / the next Black Ops game that follows Black Ops 6 is going to look like. All we know rumor-wise is that it's a direct sequel to Black Ops 2, but I would imagine this is also going to be a direct sequel to Black Ops 6, and in that case, it's going to continue on the zombie storyline directly, and it might be wishful thinking, but I just can't imagine us getting 6 round-based maps in Black Ops 6 and then getting another 6 round-based maps in the next game the following year. It just sounds too good to be true. I could be completely wrong, and that could also be the time when Treyarch finally dropped Zombies Chronicles 2, because there's been rumors for years that Chronicles 2 was finished and was supposed to be in Black Ops 4, but obviously that never happened and we never saw it in Cold War. And if it's a Black Ops 2 sequel, the maps that are yet to be remastered are all from Black Ops 2. It all just lines up too perfectly for that not to be the moment for those maps to drop. And if that is the case, that could be a year where we just get those Chronicles maps. But I feel that alone wouldn't be enough for a whole year of Zombies. But I just don't think it's plausible to expect a whole load of remastered maps and then to still get 4 to 6 brand new round-based maps through the year as well. There has to be some sort of alternative that happens that year if it all lines up this way, and I feel that's the perfect slot for a new version of Outbreak to slot in. That way, we're not juggling between round-based and Outbreak, where it feels like one mode is getting more support and content than the other, which means the other mode gets neglected. I think this is probably the best scenario that could happen if Outbreak even does return. In an ideal world, we might just get another whole year of round-based maps from what we're going to be getting this year in Black Ops 6, and Outbreak might not even return. But again, I feel like there's just been so many resources put into this open world style of Zombies and objective gameplay that they're not just going to be done with it this time around, even if it sounds like Black Ops 6 is just going to be a round-based only Zombies. Like I said, I feel it will be round-based only for the whole of Black Ops 6, but whatever the game afterwards is, I have a feeling that that's when we might see the Black Ops version of Outbreak. Controversially, if it is anything like Modern Warfare Zombies, but more fleshed out with better live service support, then I'm actually really excited about the idea of that. There is definitely a world where both types of game mode can live and flourish with each other, but only time will tell. Let me know in the comment section, do you want to see Outbreak return? And if you do you even want to see the Modern Warfare Zombies version return, or do you want to see them strip all the extraction elements away and have it like Outbreak, where it's solely an objective per round and you just play for as many rounds as you want? I definitely think there is some tweaking on both elements to have it where it sort of blends both of them together nicely, rather than it feeling like it's just a reskin of DMZ. But I'd love to know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video in this conversation, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Black Ops 6, because anytime we get any more news, I'll be bringing it straight to you. And if you want to see some more zombies, then why not check out this video on your screen right now? You give it a click and I'll be with you in just a second.